Hey guys, it's Amy with Crafts by Amy. Move something so it doesn't fall over. Yeah, so I've already been live once today. Let me get my self shared in to the group. This is my second time being live today. So at least I get longer this time. I really don't like Facebook right now because it's annoying me. Sorry guys, I'm just trying to fix the phone and I can't figure out how. I can't figure out which way it's supposed to go. I can't share myself into our group. And my phone disconnected again.
I'm so sorry.
My phone's doing that again. So okay. So, hey Kelly, thanks for coming back to watch. So if you're in Crafty Friends Unite, I am filling in for a no-show. And I'm not even going to lie about that, because if you look at the flyer, you would be able to tell that I'm not the person that's supposed to be on right now. In case y'all can't tell, I'm a little peeved right now. Let me just get a paintbrush. And of course, I don't have any water in here again. Let's see. So this is a print that I got from Lisa Siegel last year, I think, when I was doing a different fairy event. And so I printed it out, but I didn't use it. It is on vellum paper, so it's really see-through. So we're going to put it on this mason jar, which is the same mason jar that I used last week for a different craft in our event. In our event from last week. So, and almost the same color paint. The only difference is this is plaster and I used ivory last time. And after I'm already painting this, I'm wondering if I should have done a darker color to make her stand out, but I don't know that that would help any. It would have helped if I had printed her on like rice paper instead of vellum, but I don't want to waste my paper. So, and it is a really pretty print. So it is from Lisa Siegel with Vintage Roots Digital Designs Free Printables. I'm just spritzing it with water so the paint will smooth out some. It seems to be very thick right now. But it is chalk paint, so that makes sense. Hey, Mary Ferguson, how are you? I am not doing a paper craft because I'm on last minute again. I'm glad that I had this from last year that I didn't use, so that I could hop back on really fast, because I ended up filling in earlier today. Well, I ended up switching spots with somebody, but I ended up being on earlier than I was supposed to be and didn't have my stuff ready for that either. If you've ever watched me before, you'll know I've done a lot of paper crafting. I do a lot of journaling, but I didn't want to start a fairy journal while I still have a bunch of other journals that I need to work on. So I didn't even bother trying to do one of those today, because I finished my sewing journal. That's gonna take me a while. It's a huge journal, and it's got 4 signatures. I haven't finished my shabby chic one, but that one I'm just going like little by little. That was my very first journal that I made, and I'm just putting stuff in it little by little. I'm doing okay. I would be doing better if I had people in my group that would remember to write down that they were in events. That would... The person that I filled in for, I just switched spots with earlier. So that wasn't really a no-show. But the person now is a no-show. Thanks, Glenna. I appreciate that, girl. Today has just been one of those days. So I'm going to dry this. Then I'm going to do glue and dry that. And then we're going to iron on that print. So we'll see how this looks. I have no clue if it's going to turn out well. And then I'm just going to bedazzle it with rhinestones. Because it's a really pretty dress she has on. It's a blue and like cream color. I would do more of my, yeah, it's been a hectic day, Kelly. I would have done more of the cards, but I really didn't like how the second one came out from earlier, and I'll show you guys. The first one I really liked that I did, but the second one not so much. So this was the first card that I did earlier in all life. It's just a single fairy on a main, and it's just a blank card. So got that. And then this is the second one that I did. It's a fairy on a mushroom, like sitting in a little mushroom forest. I did not do her, she had a flower in her hand. Didn't do that. I smeared ink up at the top right here and all over the back of this one. And I couldn't find a brown to match the brown I used there. I ripped the paper right there. The fairy had streaks all in her and it ripped the paper. So I'm not crazy about that card. I'm not going to throw it away because I put a lot of work into that card, but I'm not crazy about it. So up after me is Glenna from Creating Decor with Glenna. Hopefully the rest of the evening goes well. I don't foresee us having any more issues. The rest of the lineup, I'll tell you who the rest of the lineup is. The rest of the lineup is Glenna, and then Liz will be on at 10 Eastern. Kim with Growing Crafts by Kim is on at 11, and Victoria is on at midnight Eastern. And the reason I say that is Liz has never flaked on me. Kim signed up for this event recently, and so did Victoria, and Victoria's been in the comments throughout the day, so I know she's here. I don't know what keeps happening with this phone. It is honestly making me so mad with the knocking me off of it like every few minutes now, it seems. I'm just trying. I don't have my brush. Hey Victoria. I don't have my brush that I usually use because it's in the bathroom from when I cleaned it last week and didn't bring it back in here. So let me see what other brushes I have that I can use. I have tons of brushes. Let's see. Which one do I want to use is the question. Could just use my silicone brush. Let's try the silicone brush. And I am going to wrap that ink brush in a baby wipe. I almost did another stencil. We have a fairy stencil with magnolia, and it says "Wish upon a star," I think. But I have it. It's sitting somewhere, and I think it's at 8.5 by 11, and it would have been too big for this surface. So I'm just going to grab my silicone paintbrush that I used earlier, that I cleaned off. I also call them paintbrush squeegees. And of course, my glue thing is clogged up again. I have a thing that I can use to unclog it, but it's not sitting on my desk right now, so I am just using one of my words, Amy. This is why I don't like coming on flustered. My all. So I'm just using the silicone paintbrush, and it should smooth this out pretty good. I probably have way too much glue on this surface now, but I'm going to try and get it as smooth as I can and hope for the best. I almost bought a glue the other day that it said work with tissue paper and doesn't make tissue paper bubble. It's a beacon glue. It's called Zip Dry. I don't know if any of y'all have ever heard of that or used it. It's not a cheap glue, but it's not like, I mean, it's a beacon glue, so it's obviously not a cheap glue. I think it was like $8 for 4 ounces, which is basically the same price as if you got Beacon 3-in-1 or Beacon Fabrifix or Fabri-Tac. And they sell it over at Michael's, which, if anybody's ever watched me, I talk about this all the time. Hobby Lobby and Michael's are 2 minutes apart from each other and like 2 minutes from my house. I think I need a little bit more down here at the bottom. And it's already drying because of the air. I have my fans on, and one of them is right above my desk. So it's already starting to dry the Mod Podge. But I want to make sure I have a good coat of this. And the reason I'm doing this at an angle with this brush is so that I don't have big lumps of Mod Podge anywhere. It's all smooth. Because the angle on this makes it smooth. So we're going to try this and see how it comes out. When I was watching Mary Lou before me, I was trying to sew on my sewing machine because I did an event this weekend that was... So apparently the event was Crafter's Choice, but it was National Water a Flower Day, and nobody realized that we didn't have to do that. So everybody did something that had related to flowers. So I was making these little stuffies with seeds packets. Like, I was sublimating on them, and they turned out really cute. But I only had a chance to sew 3 of them on Saturday before I needed to get out of my craft room and go lay down. My back was hurting me from sitting in here, so I didn't finish them. I tried to finish them today, and my sewing machine hates me. It does not want to sew stitches. And I thought, well, first of all, I needed a new bobbin because my bobbin was almost out of thread. So I was like, well, maybe that's why. It's low on thread on the bobbin. I'll do another one and use a different thread. Well, then I used one of my threads that I use for my junk journals, and it's a polyester one. Sewing machine apparently didn't like that. It kept coming unthreaded. So then I tried another one that is a cotton thread that my mom I know has used on a sewing machine. She has one. And it didn't like that thread either. It sewed slightly better, but it was not sewing the way it should have because it wasn't catching all the stitches that I needed. Like, it would stitch like a couple of stitches and then give me like a stitch that was 2 to 3 stitch lengths, which is not what it's supposed to do. For anybody that's never sewn on a sewing machine. Sorry for the loud noise, you guys, but I do want to make sure this is dry completely. I mean, the image is not going to go all the way up and down because it's not as... I did it this way instead of the other way. So it's just this wide, and it's going to look really weird on this background because we're just going to have to put something up there and maybe paint to blend this down here with like some cream colored paint or something. Because I don't want to lose her gown by going off the edge too much over here. So, yeah, I forgot to warm up the iron also, so there's that. So let's talk for a minute. What have you guys been up to today? If you've been enjoying the event, I will show you guys the little stuffies I'm talking about in case you didn't see them on my page. So I had done, I think I did 9 of them. I printed out 9 of them, but I was only able to sew these 3. And I was going to sew the other ones today. And like, I did a really good job. Like, I sewed these. They came out perfect looking with the thread. Like, They're all sewed together, like, they're fine. I mean, they have stitch, you can see the stitches in the corner where they came together at the end, because I only sewed 3 sides and then I did the top after I stuffed it. But then I tried stitching this one and I couldn't decide if it just didn't like the daisy pattern or if it, I don't know, but this is what my stitches look like now. They're like, I would have like 2 stitches that were fine and then one that's like long. So, and I don't like the color of this thread. I don't know, it's a big old thing. Let me just grab parchment paper. I'm just going to keep reusing this parchment paper until it falls apart. And we're just going to iron her on here. And the heat might give it wrinkles. We'll just have to wait and see. Because it is vellum, so it's very light people. But I filled in on Saturday for a half an hour earlier than I was going to originally go live because they had somebody that didn't show up on that event, which sucks for that person too, because obviously I understand that. Okay, it didn't really bubble up anywhere. I was just making sure before I turn the iron back off. So iron is off. And so I have a printer that I turned into a sublimation printer. That's what I used on those stuffies. That's why the image is not the greatest image. And it's not horrible looking, but it's not the greatest. And I use this sublimation spray because that's just canvas and you can really only sublimate on polyester stuff. So I'm just going to take my sander. It's not a high grit. I mean, it's not a low grit. I use high grit because high grit gets you smoother edges. And whenever I'm sanding surfaces and stuff, I tend to use the smoother ones. So that's just what I put on here. I want to say this is like a 4,000 or I don't know what it is, quite honestly. But it did come in a pack from either Amazon or Temu. And for anybody that's watched me for a long time, a few years ago, I think 2 years ago, I signed up to be an Amazon influencer or affiliate or whatever. You know, where you get paid for sharing products you like. I might have to comment the iron on the bottom right here because it's not laying down. Anyway, I didn't realize this, but if you don't get so many sales within the first 3 months, they boot you from the program. My iron's still pretty hot because I had it on the highest setting. Just getting that corner down. So they booted me from the program, but I signed up again through Facebook because I didn't have nearly as many followers then as I do now. And they seem to have approved me. I didn't change anything, like all the same information. But I need to find my link for it. Like, I think it's the same one I used before, but because I think it's just like your first and last name and like a number or something when you sign up. I also got to sign up for Temu, but I don't know if it's really for an affiliate or it's for ad and they can run ads on my page. So we'll find out. I know that Miss Trudy was saying she had a thing this morning on her live where it was like somebody wanted to add, like, I think it was Temu actually, wanted to advertise, and I'm like, I've never seen that on my lives. But she didn't want that, which I totally understand. You don't want that, like, taking over your feed. I don't go live directly from Facebook anymore, so I don't see any of that stuff. You do have to sand it more to get this off with this grit, but I didn't want to get up and get a different one, quite honestly. With the day we've been having in the event, I didn't feel like doing anything extra than what needed to be done. So I can see it coming up there. So I'm going to get the parchment on the iron back out again and iron that section too. It did wrinkle a little in the middle, but you really can't see it. It's kind of where the fairy's hair is. So I don't even know if I told y'all, but we're in Crafty Fringy Night today, and it's fairies. A fairies event. So I don't like the delineation between this and this. So I'm going to look and see what colors of acrylic paint I have here. And see if I have one that's like a creamy color. I do have ivory that is a chalk paint. But if I had one that was like a creamy color, I was just going to use that instead. Which I don't see one. I have a lot of like peachy colors, and I feel like the ivory is just going to be way too close in color, but it's all I have right now, so that's what we're going to use. So I'm going to grab another paintbrush, but I'm just going to use a smaller one this time. I don't need anything big, because I'm just going to try and blend this up here. Put this back where it was. It's not in my desk. In my way on my desk. This is another one of those paints that's like really thick. Hey Liz, welcome. We are working on a print from Lisa Siegel from Vintage Roots. There's like a tiny bit of paper right there. Got it off. And now I'm gonna, nope, see, I knew that that wasn't gonna work. I was trying to blend in the paper to the background, but I don't think it's gonna, I'm gonna do it because this is the paint I have right here, but it's not really doing what I want it to do because the color is not right. But it's what I have. Thanks, Liz. Probably could have gotten the link for it and put it in my description, but this was a fairy that I got from her last year for a different event with Wendy. I printed out a couple different ones, or saved a couple different ones, and I ended up using a different one for that event. I feel like I need a different color than this. I don't think this is working like I want it to. I think I might go grab one of my acrylic paints that is a cream color, because I need to blend it at the bottom too. And this is like slightly darker than this, but it's not like, it's not what I want. So I'm gonna go grab acrylic paint really quickly and add it to my pile of paints that I have sitting at my desk. Let's see. It's too late. Too late. It's too late. Okay. I'm coming back. I have two different colors that I think can work. And we're just going to try them. And if we don't like how they look on there, we'll just blend them in. So I grabbed Antique White from Craftsmart and Taffy from Folk Art. So we're just going to see if this works. Okay, this thing needs to be shaken up. That one might not be usable. It's kind of old. It's from a store that no longer exists, if that tells you anything. This one might be too dark, but we're going to try it. It's got more of a brownish tint to it, which I think might work better. And I'm just going to grab a different paintbrush. That way, if I need to use this, I can. And I'm just dipping it into the lid. So it's like a browner color, which I think, oh yeah, I think this is going to work better. But I think it probably was a good idea to put that first coat of the chalk paint because it gave me a surface to put the acrylic paint on. Because acrylic paint is kind of on the thinner side, so having that base with the chalk paint was definitely a good idea. Although this is a satin paint, so it's good for painting on a lot of different surfaces, including, you know, glass and metals and stuff. But it's called antique white, even though it's like, it's antique, all right. But I think it's blending a little bit better than that color did. So I'm going to paint the chalk paint down at the bottom where I need to blend here. Just paint the whole thing. So I'm just getting a little bit on the paper. A little bit on the paper and then painting the whole bottom. So I'm not sure I'm going to put anything down there. So I want to have it painted just in case. And this one is ivory. The background that I did paint behind her was just plaster. Again, this is a print from Lisa Siegel. It's from a year ago, but I'm pretty sure if you go look on her Vintage Roots digital design page, there's a search bar you can go look through. And you can just type in fairies and it will bring up all of her fairies that she has on her page. Which is why I love that feature. Because you can go in there and see if you're looking for peacock pictures or something. And if they don't have what you want and you have give her enough heads up, Lisa can probably make you a picture for whatever you need. I obviously needed mine today because I did not know I was going to be going on a second time. Okay, so now we're going to blend this with the grayish, whatever this antique white is, after it's dry. So I'm just coming up here and doing this. I don't need it to be full coverage because I do have that color underneath. I just need it to not be white looking. And then I don't know what I'm doing up here at the top, but I'm going to do something. I did learn how to do this from Miss Kathy from Happy Crafting Circle. And she hasn't been in our events in a while, so I think she signed up for some next month. Because she did ask me to let her know when I posted the polls for that June, not June, for July. And I do notify them. You made a big mess. Okay. Weren't you just fooling with resin last night? How'd you make a mess today? You seemed to be doing fine with it last night. I could have done resin. I have the fairy doors. The silicone mold. Okay, I need to dry this part down here so that I can start painting this browner color on it. But I have this print and I really do like it. And I wanted to use it. I might come in with a sponge brush up at the top because it looks really messy to me right now. I know I have sponge brushes. I only see one beside me, and that's... Ooh, I know what I can use. Try to pick it up. Yeah, that's never going to work right. I'm going to use one of these little makeup sponges. And I mean, so technically the ones I picked up from Temu are not for, they're for nails, apparently. I don't know what you put on nails with that, but they're for nails. And I had a clothespin here that I was using for that so that it would just be, this is my paint one, and I cannot find it. Of course, you know, when you need something, it's never where you need it. Trying to see if I can see any clothespins from where that I can get to. That's the key, getting to them. Because the ones in my cabinet are on a shelf. And I really cannot get to them. So, let's see what else I have. I have binder clamps I can use if worse comes to worse. I'm just going to look one more time underneath my flowers that I made. See if it's underneath them. I don't think it is because I don't remember seeing it. And it's not, which is a bummer. I do have fingertip protectors for resin. I'm not really sure why you would need that for resin, but to each his own. I am just going to use it with my fingers, and if I get... Thanks, Jennifer. And hello, welcome to the second act. So I'm just going to put some on my mat and just use this little makeup sponge. And I'm going to come back and do this up at the top too. So hopefully it'll blend in a little bit better up there. I really want to get to the rhinestone, and that's the fun part, right? I'm just not sure how I'm going to rhinestone her because she's kind of muted. She's not like an overly vibrant fairy. She's really pretty though. And I think most of the blues that I have are just going to be bright or deep. I need those for my glue tool. How would you use these with your hot glue tool? I'm just curious, really, because I'm trying to sit here and think, what would you use them to do? Okay, now I'm going to come back up here and try and fix this to blend it a little bit better. So we're probably going to do a second coat down at the bottom because that's what we're doing up here right now, basically, with the satin paint. And I do like how it's blending better. And because I have so many of these things, I can just throw them away. You used all of your resin in your big bottle? Dang, the heck have you been creating? I have those same bottles you have, and I still have like at least half of them. I guess that just means I don't create enough. Oh, the finger protectors. Yes. They sell them at Dollar Tree here, too. These were just from Hobby Lobby, though. These were 99 cents for 3. The ones at Dollar Tree are $1.25 or $1.50 for 3. So they're a better deal at Hobby Lobby. Okay, I'm going to put this paintbrush with this one. And close the ivory chalk paint because I don't need that anymore. And we don't want it to dry up. A buttload of birds. I thought about doing the strawberries when I did the event last week, but I never got around to it. And I can now see right here that my stuff is not all the way down, so I'm going to try and fix that. And by fixing it, I mean using the iron. So I'm going to turn the iron back on. So you guys, Glenna's up after me. So I'll get her shared in the group as soon as I can. And I don't even know where my rhinestones are at the moment because I moved stuff around the other day and I don't know where things are. Okay, don't fall in the bobbins. I got a bunch of bobbins. Thanks, Glenna. I don't even know where my rhinestones are at the moment. Like, quite honestly. I know where my little pieces that I cut out of paper are. I see those. I don't see my rhinestones though. I did do the dry method with this, so I am just ironing the bottom again to see if I can get that piece to stay down in the middle. I love this iron. I love it so much I have two of them. That's not why I have two of them. I have two of them because I had brought one in my sister's house and it was in my tote bag that I took over there. And my dad, some reason, put it in the garage, and no, it was in the dining room. And we were moving stuff like a while later, and I finally found it. After I was like, I need to get another one. So I finally got one and bought it and did all of that stuff. And now I have two irons. Thanks, Brandy. So I am just coming in with some more of this antique white from Craftsmart, which is Michael's brand. And I'm blending somewhat whatever I had on here before. Basically, I'm doing a second coat because the first one just looks blotchy. And I'm just using a nail sponge. I honestly have no clue what you use these for. Hi, Carla. Welcome. Thank you for sprinkling. Yeah, I definitely wasn't supposed to be one right now, but when it's your event group, you try to fill the spots as best you can. And when it's very last minute, like the time of the event spot, it's kind of hard to find somebody else to do that. Like if I had like an hour or two, I probably could have found somebody, but I didn't have that much time. So that's what she's looking like now. I don't know what I'm doing up at the top. I think I might just put webbing or something up there. My burlap webbing, or I might get out some burlap, like actual burlap, and put that up there. Because I have all the colors, and I don't really use them because Walmart doesn't really have a lot of colors anymore, and Hobby Lobby selection is limited compared to what it used to be. They used to have burlap in like the ribbon in the sewing section. They used to have burlap in there. They don't have any of that anymore. So I am going to throw this in the trash. I'm just wrapping it in a piece of paper towel. Just because I don't want it getting all over my trash can. And I'm going to try and rip this and wipe it up. My mom just texted me, said, kind of, I don't know what those eyes are called. It's the big eyes. Because I told her that my niece wasn't coming over this week because she's going to vacation Bible school. Because I texted my sister, she had ordered some clothes that were with my account, and so they were delivered here. And I texted her to let her know, and she said, well, Emmy's at Bible school all week, so she's not going to be, obviously, my sister's not coming over here. She doesn't have anything reason to. Oh, look, the bug actually died. Y'all, there was a spider, I swear, the size of a nickel in my bathroom. I about freaked out. I didn't see where it went. And it freaked me out. I don't like creepy crawly things. If they're made out of gummy candy or if they're plastic, or I don't mind fake ones. I don't want a real spider or a real roach anywhere near me. Or a snake or anything of that. I don't want any of that. I'm looking for my rhinestones, you guys, while the paint dries. And I'm also looking to see what I have that I could put up at the top as like a bow or a cover for this. It is a mason jar. I could do a metallic color, but I feel like that would just not look right. He's glued to your craft table. That is hilarious. I'm waiting for the day when that happens. I don't really, my glue gun doesn't drip, so I don't really have glue on my table very much. So they don't really have anything to fall into and dry, but that would be funny if they did. This is what I've got, you guys. I have no clue what I'm doing. I was on the toilet, and I'm like, please go away. Do not come by the toilet. Do not come by the toilet. That is that. It's not there. It's not there. And it's not there. Let me see what ribbon I have. I have some chiffon ribbon that I could make like a bow. Just trying to see what colors I have. Either one of these is really the right color. Maybe that one will be. No, that's not really the right color either. I have. I don't know where I was going with this drawer. I have some of my shade lace. I don't have any in my big container of laces up in the cabinet, and the step stool's not over there, and that would just be an accident waiting to happen if I tried to go over there and get that. I do have some lace like this, cream colored lace. I have white lace. So when I was a kid, I actually had a creepy crawly machine. I don't know if any of y'all know what that is. Back in the 80s, I think it came out in the 90s, honestly. There was a machine that you could make like creepy crawlies with. And I found it in the garage when we were cleaning stuff because it had been in the attic. So I still have my creepy crawly machine. But I doubt that they still make anything that goes in it. So these are the two that I have. Let's just see what we can put on here. One of them's a little bit wider than the other. So I have this one, which is the thinner of the two. And then I have this one. This one is 0.7 inches. And this is they're almost the same. This one looks like it's almost an inch though, compared to the one down at the bottom. So what do y'all think? Lace-wise. Got two different sizes. Should I just put it at the top? Should I do something else at the bottom? I don't know what I'm doing anymore, you guys. I really don't. I feel like I should have brought that antique white in a little bit more, but because I was thinking this would look cute at the bottom, but it's not long enough for me. And if I put the other one, I'm gonna want to trim it because it's not it's gonna be too wide. Let's see what else I have. I also have this one. This one is a little more natural color, I guess you could say. It's not as wide. Put this around the edge. It's a different color than that one, but it's not as wide as that one. But I could put that on there and get my glue tool. Y'all know I love to talk about this glue tool. I love this thing. I rave about it. I need to get my Amazon link so I can put this back because two people actually bought this glue tool on my recommendation and they love it. I didn't get any money because I didn't have, I wasn't an affiliate anymore. So hopefully I can figure that out because I couldn't find it on the actual Amazon page. So I think I might do this up here. Just cut it a little longer so I can glue it around the back. I am going to put some glue underneath where it is on the front too, though. And then measure a piece for the bottom. And we've got about 6 minutes, unless Miss Glenna says she needs more time, because she said she made a big mess. Okay, I kind of like this because it's covering up the delineation line that I didn't like down here. And I think I got these from Temu. Because this is 15 feet. And I know they don't sell anything like that at Michael's. That's this. Or Dollar Tree. Theirs are like 9 feet, if that. So the sewing scissors. And get this glue tool. And I'll start with the one at the bottom. And I have found that it does not have anything to do with your glue tool with the strings. People are always complaining about the strings. It's the glue sticks that have the issue. Because I've used AdTech ones in my big glue tool like this, and I never have strings with it. This one I use Surebonder or the one from, what was the other one I have? Surebonder, or I think I have some from like Dollar Tree. Okay, I need to see where I need to put this. I'm putting it right there, so underneath the edge. And they're the ones that give you the glue strings. I've never had that issue with AdTech, and I've never really used the Gorilla one, but I've never heard of people having issues like that with that one either. So this one at the top isn't covering the little delineation line, but you can't really see it as much at the top from where I blended the color paint. It looks better up there. So we got that. I'm trying to think what I could put up at the top. If I had my burlap out, I could do like a burlap flower or something to put up there. Or I could do multiple burlap flowers. I have velvet ribbon out. I have greenery. I could put flowers up there, but I don't know that I have any blue flowers, and I don't really want to put like different colored flowers. I really don't know where the glue needs to be down here, so I'm just putting glue randomly. Probably could have just put the glue on this and then just done this. That would have been the better thing to do. And when this glue dries, I'm just peeling it off. So I've got about 3 minutes left before I need to go share Glenna. And this part up here, I'm just going to do the same thing I did at the bottom. Put the glue on the lace and then do this. Sometimes my brain works and comes up with ideas that are actually intelligent and not harmful. So now we've got the lace on there. I really want to put something at the top. I'm just not sure what. I usually put this burlap webbing up there, but I'm not sure I want to do that. It's kind of on the thick side and it's hard to fold about around the back of it. But I need a ribbon that's like wide enough, and I'm trying to think if I have anything that's like color-wise and thickness, because I don't want to do like 2 layers of ribbon. I want one that's at least this long. So what it would be. It would be, I would need at least a 2-inch ribbon to put up there. And most ribbons are not 2 inches. They're usually 2.5 inches or 1.5 inches. I might just get burlap ribbon because I do have some of that. That would be easier to pull with. And at least I know where that is. It's only 1.5 inches, but because I have just the regular burlap I could put up there. And I'm going to check to see if I have any blue. If you're jingling, it's because there's a Christmas bell back here. Ooh, there's some blue. what these things are, but... Ooh, I found blue. Sorry, Glenn, I'll share you out in a minute. My hand's stuck in the container with all greenery. So I'll probably cut some of that up and do... I probably will put the burlap on there. And I'll probably cut up some of these and get some of my boxwood and just do some greenery up there. So I will see you guys over in Glenna's comments. Have a good night, and I will see you guys later. Hopefully not again tonight. Bye, guys.